I had a request to do some work on tips. The tips of points, I guess. But I'll start with a clunky piece first. I've always had trouble with tips. One of the things I don't like the most about flint knapping is breaking a tip off. So I'll try my best to tell you everything I know about tips. Mostly by showing you what I do. It's hard to explain. Use pressure work to finish off the tips, obviously. Although you can use percussion if you're very, very careful. If I just want to put a point on a piece of rock, it's pretty easy. Like a Kerrville knife, that's just a point on a round rock. Yeah. Let's see, let me get a better spall here. That one was way too delicate to try to get something long out of it. That's another junky piece, but I think I can get something out of it. It's an odd shape. Yeah, this particular type of Georgetown is very fragile. It's very chalky on the outside. And it's good for small points. I do have some larger pieces of that delicate Georgetown, but I don't like working it that much. Although I do have I do have work lined up for the pieces that I have, so I don't have any to spare. I got mostly clunky Georgetown flakes. Okay. So working on tips. What I see the most trouble with is, of course, breaking them off. And the way you don't break them off is to be gentle. Now, if you just have a thin flake like this at the end, it doesn't take much to put a tip on it. That's all you need as a tool. But the question I got was also how to make the shape lenticular or lens shaped. In order to do that, I've got to remove some material here. Make it kind of thick. That way I have room to shape it. Every time I show this billet, I get questions on it. What is it? What's the size? Where do you get it? How long you been using it? It's aluminum. 1.5 diameter, solid aluminum, 6061, 6061. I always get that wrong too. I always say 1061, but it's 6061. Aluminum. This is a piece of tape wrapped around this 4-inch section of bar stock. I believe it's extruded. Industrial grade, very common, probably the most common type of aluminum. Okay? I get them on eBay. And I've been using it for several years. I don't know how many years. This particular piece, I don't know how old it is, but it's maybe 4 years old. I really need to sand it down again on my sander. Get rid of all those pock marks, make it smooth again, and make sure there's no stone embedded in there. The stone embedded will mess up your knapping, because it'll start running short flakes instead of long flakes if you got too much stone embedded in there. And I think with aluminum it gets harder the more you pound on it. Well, at least this type. I should write an explanation down and put it in the description with every video. But when I had my computer, I had all my notes written out of the most frequently asked questions, including what my tools are made out of. I tried to stick it in the description box, and it wouldn't fit. Too many words. I said, okay, let's see if I can trim it down and not include some of the words. Well, all of the words were important, so either I don't post it at all or post everything. Because if I don't post something that I know, my luck will have it that that's the question they will ask. So it didn't do me any good to post it. They don't need to know where I get it from. They can figure that out, right? So I can skip that part of the information. Where do I get my tools from? They can figure that out. Do a Google search or whatever. But nope, if I don't put where I got it from, that's the first thing they ask. Where'd you get it? If I put where I got it from, but I don't put the exact length, that's the first thing they ask. How long is it? It doesn't really matter how long it is, really. It's just adjust it to your needs. That's all I can say. So if I'm going to spend the same amount of time answering questions, regardless of what I put in the description, might as well just answer the questions. Right? Yeah, kind of, sort of. Yeah, my luck's not that good. I used to put like little end frames, or what, I don't know what they call it, at the end of the video to link it up to the next video. So all you got to do is click on the screen for the next video in line. It's one of the features on YouTube. If you have a computer, I used to do that, and I got less views on those videos than I do just numbering them. if I just number the videos in order, people seem to find them easier than just clicking on the end screen or whatever it's called. So the simple answer for the points, the tips, and the lenticular shape is don't overshoot on either one. Just do normal flakes halfway across. If you do flakes only halfway across, it's going to get to be either lenticular or diamond shaped. If all you're getting is step fractures, you need to stop hitting inward and hit mostly downward. For beginners, step fractures usually happen when they hit inward. Like that. I'm hitting too inward. The rock is also kind of tough. When it's tough and have to use a lot of power, you have to abrade a lot. And the way that I knap, I don't abrade exactly where I want to hit. I'll just abrade it quickly. I'll abrade it quickly and then hit where it seems like it was abraded the most incidentally. Just so happens it's a coincidence that it got abraded in that spot. I don't aim to abrade in specific spots all that much. I'll just hit where I see a spot that got abraded well. I adjust my technique to the edge. Mostly I adjust my technique to the edge. I don't adjust the edge to my technique most of the time. And I don't mind saying that over and over again, because 80% of you haven't seen any of my videos. You're brand new. Well, I can't say that. You probably have seen them before, but 80% of my viewers find my channel by a search or some other way other than a recommendation or a subscription. You guys are finding my channel some other way. Other than notifications. Alright, maybe recommendations, but not subscriber recommendations. Although I do have a very loyal core of subscribers that are always watching. That's a small percentage. A good percentage, though. The very best. That is the very best percentage. All right. What do I do with it? Okay. Because a lot of them have my same sense of humor. They'll do the little laugh too. Oh yes, I know you're doing it. You're going all the time. I know you are. Okay, let's do the tip on this. Right? You and I will do the tip on this. make it nice and pretty. If I can get it to focus. All right, so what's wrong with it now? Well, nothing wrong with it. I can still use this as a tool if I sharpen it, but it needs to be tapered down to be most effective for cutting. For penetrating, it can be just thinned down like that at the tip, and that's it. It can be thick right beyond the tip. As long as the very, very tip is sharp, it'll penetrate well. But for cutting, it seems to slice better when it's thinner. Seems to. So I'm just going to pick at it slowly with the percussion flaker. The first 16 minutes might have gone by really fast for you new guys. I didn't get to see exactly every flake and how you did it because you didn't zoom in on the platforms. What happened to the zoom? You zoomed it at the last minute. Should have started zoomed in. Yeah, I know. It's just hard to keep it in focus or in the frame when I'm zoomed in, when I'm doing the big stuff. So I gotta maneuver it. I gotta maneuver it around and stuff. I can't keep my focus zoomed in for the big stuff. Gosh, this is a hard piece of Georgetown. All right, here we go. Tip. Just take off some flakes. Make it thinner. All right, easy peasy. New guys, just take off some flakes, man. What's the problem? What's the problem? I'm not making fun of you. What's the matter? You can't hit a piece of steel with a piece of plastic? What's so hard about it? You're not only hitting plastic, man. You gotta hold it at the right angle. I know everything that I'm not doing. I am not holding it at the right angle. I am not hitting it the right speed. I am not doing all this stuff. It's funny how the new guys know what they're not doing. They know exactly what they're not doing. How do they know all this stuff like angles and speeds and stuff like that? How do they know that? I don't know. Somehow they know that. It's got to be that. What else is it? I'm looking at it. All I see is speed and angles. That's it. Yeah, I see where you're putting the tool on there, but that's not a big deal. Just stick it on the edge. Hit it. See what happens. No, actually, where you put it on the edge is very important. Very, very important. The angles and all that become second nature. But where you put the tool on the workpiece requires conscious thought. You're going to decide where is the best place strategically. And for strategy and efficiency. Because you want to try to take off the least amount of flakes for the most amount of benefit. So that requires some conscious thought. The subconscious doesn't understand efficiency. It just wants to do the same thing over and over again. Does it take off that little unreleased flake? Yeah, it depends on it's very important where to hit that unreleased flake to get it to release. It's a conscious thought process. Subconscious really doesn't know where to hit. And if you're the type of person who is not really into hand-eye coordinating stuff, the conscious decisions are a lot of times difficult for you because you're depending a lot on your subconscious to make the decision, and it's not going to make the right decision because it doesn't understand what you're doing. So yeah, I'm just taking down thick spots, and before I strike, since it's a difficult stone to flake, I gotta make sure that I abrade the platforms well, because I have to hit really hard. And yep, it's dangling. It's called the tail of freedom out there, just hanging out there. Doesn't that break off the tips? It can if you don't hit it right. Yes, indeed. How can I teach them how to hit it right? Oh, spirit of rocks. You don't. That's what you gotta teach yourself, how to hit it right. But I try to give you a napper's eye view of what's going on, so you'll have a better idea when you do the monkey see, monkey do. Monkey see it, monkey do it. Can you see it? Can you see what I'm doing? Is this good enough for you to see what I'm doing? I hope it is, but I have found out that this is not sufficient. Even though you're looking at it and seeing the exact same thing I am, you're still dumbfounded. You're like, I don't understand it. I don't get it. I do the same thing. I'm holding it the same way and doing everything. Are you getting those mistakes too? Those little overshot things? That was a weird one because it went over here. I thought I was going to trim off that step fracture a good bit. No, it hit the wall of the step fracture and then pinged off this side and went off and did an overshot. Pinged. It pinged. P-I-N-G-E-D. Is that a flint knapping term? I suppose it is now. It's on a flint knapping video. Pinged is when a flake hits a wall and goes in a different direction. No, that's a ricochet, man. Ricochet. No, ricochet is when someone sits too close to you and you're doing indirect percussion and they get hit in the goggles with a piece of flake. That's a ricochet. That's never happened to me though. I've never hit someone in the goggles with a flake because they're sitting really close. Trying to zoom in and see what I'm doing. I should just say, I don't know why you're sitting so close, man. People watch my videos and they still don't get it, and they're closer than you are. Yeah, it's true. You're freaking right in front of me in the video. Still don't get it. Really? Oh yeah. Not making fun of you. Just saying. So, yeah, I mean, I did a lot of the tip there. This can be left as is as a tool. Tools are fun, right? I mean, they're so cool because you can say, it's a tool. Yeah, it is. It is. Is that what you started out as, trying to do? Oh, that doesn't matter. I mean, it's now a tool. Isn't that cool? It's an excuse for everything. It's a tool and it's cool. It's cool because it's a tool. That's why it's cool. It's a tool. Yeah. I just go after the bad spots first, and those are the lumpy spots. Lumpy is a Flintknapping term because you saw it in a Flintknapping video. Lumpy. Right? I always say, right? I always say that. And I always tell myself to shut up when I'm watching myself on video. You talk to your own videos. No, I don't talk to my own videos, silly. But I do get cringy. I do get the cringe. Oh, yes. So I don't know how far you want me to go with this. Person who was wondering, which is a good question. How do you handle tips? How do you make them so they don't break off or whatever? I wish there was a simple answer, a five-point bullet explanation. And able to explain it like a 5-year-old could understand. I've been known to say that if I explain it to you like you're 5, you're going to get the same results as a 5-year-old. Yeah. That's my wisdom. Straight from me. If I explain it to you like you're 5, your results are going to be the same as a 5-year-old. That's why I made over 1,000 videos. 1,000 videos. And yet, there are some people who would like to see 10,000 videos. Yeah. 10,000 videos. And they're just warming up. I got more than that last week on my saved favorites. Yeah. I'm short-circuiting YouTube with my favorites. Yep. What do you do with your favorites? I just like having a bunch of favorites. That's it. Don't do nothing with them. You don't watch them over again? Over and over? Your favorites? No, got them stored all up here, man. All up here. Got them stored. Photographic memory. Video memory. I believe it. Some of you guys you get up in the morning and you read the whole internet. You start commenting. And someone says, no, that ain't right. And you go, don't tell me it's not right. I just read the whole internet. You can't tell me it's not right. I've read the whole internet. And you can't tell me different, because that's my superpower. my ability to read the internet. So there. I don't know. If I go any thinner, I'm going to break it. So I'll leave it. And hopefully it'll give you some idea of how to do the tips. Because it's just one big long tip on the end of a, flake. Okay. Alrighty. Oops. See you in the next video.